What's up, turds? I'm Rico Jake, and this week's I Have a Problem is all about Nintendo. All about Nintendo. As always, guys, thank you so much for being interested and giving me feedback on this podcast series that I Have a Problem. It's something that I want to keep doing. I want to do one a week on a topic of your choosing. I don't know, something that's topical, something I have on my mind, and just to rant. Give me an excuse to rant and get some thoughts out to you guys. So thank you guys so much for the feedback so far. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Give me some topics you want to hear me rant about. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? And we'll get right into it. So this one's going to be all about Nintendo. I have a problem streaming Nintendo content, really making any sort of content Nintendo related at all. Some of you guys remember, some of you long timers remember the days when I was a Nintendo Switch content creator only. Back in the day, all that I had was a Nintendo Switch, really. I had a Nintendo Switch and a capture card, and I was in love with the Switch. I'm still in love with the Switch, but back then when I was making content, that's all I really wanted to do. I really liked the family friendliness of Nintendo console. I mean, some of my favorite franchises of all time happen to be Nintendo franchises and Nintendo IPs, whether it be Zelda, Donkey Kong, Mario, all that stuff. All of those are my favorites. I grew up with those games. I played those games, and I look forward to sharing those games with my daughter when she gets of age. But some stuff happened. Some things changed. Obviously, you guys that are on the channel now, you see me doing a whole bunch of things. We've been through a couple different eras and changing of content, changing of games that we play. And I'm kind of shying away from calling myself a particular streamer of anything, really. A console streamer, PC streamer, a specific game streamer. I'm kind of shy away from that and just stick to being a streamer, a content creator, and trying to brand myself rather than trying to brand myself to any particular thing. But there's a reason why, and I know a lot of you guys have asked, so there's a reason why I don't do as much Nintendo stuff. Really three big reasons. So let's get into the first one. The first big reason why I have a problem streaming Nintendo content, or if I have problem making Nintendo content, is because of Nintendo itself. So Nintendo has always sort of had a weird and it's sort of an ambivalent relationship, or I guess a strenuous relationship with content creators, with YouTubers especially, but really with anybody using their content, making content, anybody that has the ability to monetize content that they own. Nintendo has always had a problem with that. A lot of people describe Nintendo as being backwards or being behind the times. I don't really think that that is the case. I think Nintendo is a smart company. Obviously, they're still successful. They can figure out how to sell their product. I just don't think they want it. I just don't think they want streamers. I don't think they want just anybody being able to profit or anybody just being able to promote their content. I think they feel that they're completely capable of promoting their own content. So to put this in a personal respect, you guys have seen the bigger YouTubers that have talked about this. I know that Angry Joe comes to mind when he went out against doing any sort of Nintendo Switch content, and there have been others, and there are bigger established Nintendo content creators and reviewers that openly talk about this. But from my point of view, this sort of stuff, the Nintendo relationship, for me, kind of set its tone, or a tone was kind of established towards me when I was doing Breath of the Wild. So you guys remember when I did my Let's Play series? I streamed it. I did a Let's Play of Breath of the Wild. I left the recordings. Obviously, all my streams, I leave those as videos on demand for people that want to watch after the fact. My wife is not always able to watch. My family's not always able to watch. They enjoy watching. And early on, I had a lot of fans from different time zones that would want to see my stuff and weren't able to catch me live. So I always leave my VODs up on the channel. So, well, whenever I would do this, whenever I would stream Breath of the Wild, it wasn't just a few minutes after I got done streaming, I immediately got copy claimed. I got copy claimed. I didn't get a copy strike. I got copy claimed. And basically what that means is the claimant, or whoever puts the claim for whatever content it is that you have, the claimant pretty much will get all money off of your channel. Now, it's not really that big a deal to me, because even now I don't make but a little bit off of every video as far as ad revenue. I don't make a lot of money, but I think the fact that they are going to claim your content regardless of your channel size, regardless of your influence, I think that just points to the fact that they don't even really care about making money. They just don't want anybody using their content. What I got claimed on, I got two separate claims. YouTube emailed me about these, and YouTube was always very upfront, always very explanatory. Like, they explained what the claim was very well, in my opinion. But basically, I got claimed for video content of Breath of the Wild, and also for music content. Two separate claims on all those videos. Now, whenever Nintendo redid or updated their policies around the end of 2018, some of you guys remember I even had a couple of Nintendo streamers pop into my stream when I was like openly talking about this and my reason for not wanting to do Nintendo stuff. I had a couple Nintendo streamers come and like kind of argue with me on stream, or kind of like want to like openly justify why they should continue making Nintendo content. But anyways, Nintendo updated their policies. Those copy claims went away. Now, they updated the policy. Funny enough, they updated it around the time Super Smash Brothers came out. So when the new Super Smash came out for the Nintendo Switch, they did away with the channel policies and anything that they had before. And some of you guys know, or some of you guys may not know, Nintendo actually used to have a creator program. So you actually had to, if you wanted to make Nintendo content before, you could get into a Nintendo creator program, but you had to actually apply for it. The same way that you apply for partnership to Twitch or to YouTube, you had to apply to Nintendo directly, and they made the decision on whether or not you could make content for them, pretty much, if you were allowed. They got a cut of your whatever revenue that you made off that video. Some people had a problem with it. It was a thing. They did away with that completely. They did away with it when they updated policies in 2018. Basically, from the interpretation of some, they made it easier. They made it easier for content creators to make content. I'm not ready to buy it yet, and that's another reason I want to make this video. I'm not ready to buy it yet. So recently, some of you guys saw where Nintendo was going after music YouTubers. Now, music YouTubers directly using tracks specifically licensed by Nintendo for Nintendo games. Yeah, I understand the copyright of that, but again, you guys remember, end of 2018, Nintendo said they were going to be more lax on this stuff. And remember, when I got claimed for Zelda, I didn't just get claimed for video content, I got claimed for soundtracks as well. Now, if you want my predictions, could be wrong, but my prediction is eventually, as hype dies down for whatever games Nintendo wants to promote, as that dies down, as the Super Smash dies down and they move on to the next thing, they're going to go back to their old ways, guys. They're not just going to give up free money for whatever content. They want to have control of the content, and they are a company. They have every right to do so. It really does seem like, to me, like they laxed up on the policies just long enough to get some free publicity for Super Smash, and just to go back to the way things are. I mean, Nintendo's always been this way, guys. Look at them at E3. When they go to E3, they don't even, like, they are at E3, but they do their own thing. They make it clear that they don't really do presentations with other people. Now, recently they have partnered with Microsoft and made some other things, like some cross-platform stuff, cross-plat with Minecraft and other things. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they're loosening the reins. I'm just not ready to buy it yet, guys. So my first reason for not wanting to do Nintendo content, not wanting to stream, make Nintendo Switch videos, is because of Nintendo itself. The second reason is sort of similar to my issue with Minecraft, and it is the Nintendo streamer and Nintendo YouTuber community. I've been thinking over the past few days of what is the best way I can describe this? How can I describe this? And the only analogy I can think of is like a college football fan. Now, this is more of a Southern United States reference. Listeners from out of the country, listeners not in the United States, listeners that don't live in the South, specifically the SEC country, come on. Some of you guys may not understand my reference of college football fans, but let me try to paint the picture for you. So in the South, I live in Georgia. In the Southern United States, guys, college football is a big deal. College football in the South is a bigger deal than the NFL, national football. It is a tremendous deal. Basically, what you do if you live in the South, you pick a team, regardless if you went to this particular college college or not, regardless if you even know anything about sports, you pick a particular team. You buy all the paraphernalia for this team. You stick with this team. You root for this team no matter what kind of changes they have to their team, no matter if they're good, no matter if they're bad, no matter if they do things you agree with or you don't. You have a team and you ride or die for that team. You fly the flag. You make fun of all the other teams. You make fun of anybody else that would ever dare come against your team. It's very tribal. It's very tribal minded. That's college football for the South, guys. It's a big, humongous deal. It feels like Nintendo streamers are that way. That's what it seems like to me, guys. My I guess experience with Nintendo content creators of my level or around my sub count, around the same level as me, since we've started, it really does feel like a bunch of college football fans, guys. They are Nintendo apologists. They will do nothing but Nintendo content. They will do nothing but feverishly defend Nintendo no matter what it does, no matter how it acts, no matter what. They will never ever say anything bad about Nintendo, and it's just kind of annoying to me. And early on especially when we did Breath of the Wild, so we had some Nintendo streamers that would come and stream and give stream raids and like come join the Nintendo team, and basically those were the first like content creators that wanted to like pretty much like call me out for doing Minecraft stuff or call me out for trying something different, almost like I was going against the team. Like, you're not rooting for my college football team. You can't be in the clique now, and it just felt weird. It was just odd. But I had some very odd encounters early on with some Nintendo content creators. So that was a kind of a turnoff for me. Like, I understand that the only shooter game Nintendo has is Splatoon, but I don't want to keep playing it just because that's the only game Nintendo has competitively that people want to watch 3 years later, guys. I just don't want to do it. It's not that fun. I still love Breath of the Wild. I still want to play Breath of the Wild, but it's getting old, guys. It's getting old. I already did that. When I streamed it for the first time, when I finished the game, it was already a while after it launched, guys. It was already a while. So it's just a strange thing for me. So the Nintendo community, that's reason number 2. And the final reason number 3 is just Nintendo games. There aren't any games. So the third reason is games. There's not a lot of games coming out in the near future. There's a couple of games coming out that I have my eye on that I'm interested in, but here's the thing about Nintendo games, guys. There's no free-to-play games coming out. There's no free-to-play Fortnite-type games coming out for Switch. There's no free-to-play first-party Nintendo titles. Basically, anybody that wants to see you make content for the Nintendo Switch, they want to see the new stuff, guys. They want to see Nintendo first-party titles. That's the exclusive stuff. That's what's only available on the Switch. And that is stuff that's full price, guys. So, like, the lineup for the past year and the lineup until next year, until the next Zelda comes out, there's not a lot that I want to play. I tried to get into Mario Odyssey. It wasn't for me. I didn't really get into it. But you got to think of it this way, guys. So I'm pretty much, for limited exposure, for the view counts that you can kind of already see that other comparable Nintendo streamers get. Like, I'm not a big-time Nintendo-only streamer. I'm not a big-time Nintendo-only YouTuber. I'm a new content creator, guys. Been doing this a little over a year. So for that type of viewership, that level of viewership, basically I'm spending $60 a pop for Nintendo games, guys. It's just not a good return on investment. Not for me. Not for the stage that I am now, guys. Nintendo is not sending me copies of games. I'm not getting Luigi's Mansion before everybody else does to review. I'm not. I don't have the channel size for it. I'm not established enough to do that. So if I do a game, it's my money. If I want to do Luigi's Mansion, I got to pay $60 for it. I got to pay $60 for that, on top of $60 for Black Ops, on top of $60 for Call of Duty, on top of $60 for whatever games I want to do, guys. Why do you think so many creators, why do you think Fortnite is around still? Why do you think Fortnite is still so popular? Why do you think Apex Legends? Why does Jake like Apex Legends so much? It's free. I can get my friends into it. I can get people into it. It's free. It's free for me. It's free for them. It's free for everybody, guys. That's the third reason. It's just money, guys. It's money. I don't have, why would I pay $60 for Luigi's Mansion for 100 people to see it, get tired of it after a week, and then me never play it again? It just doesn't make financial sense at the current state that I'm at now, guys. So there's my 3 big reasons of why I don't do as much Nintendo Switch content anymore, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with my 3 reasons? Do you not agree? What do you think about doing a Nintendo content? Let me know what you think, guys. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys on stream.